collections and innovations in collections-focused education and outreach. And I'll be showcasing some really fun and interesting approaches to E&O from the natural history community. Excellent. So many members of the natural history community are using new and innovative approaches for education outreach. So, yeah, just fly them all in. Yeah. There should be like 2 more. Such as using social media as a tool for to engage your current audience as well as to attract new audiences and new demographics. Social media is a great way to showcase your work and research for free, and you can also have a lot of fun with it. So that's a very good tool to use. And incorporating new ways to engage students in research and piloting new outreach programs for underrepresented groups, which we'll be exploring some of those later on in the presentation. They're also using storytelling to build a community and STEM. This is a great way to engage younger audiences and raise awareness about certain issues and topics. And also, a lot of natural history museums are now collaborating with teachers in their local communities to build lessons plans that use natural history collections as a framework. Yes, and a lot of what we'll be talking about will actually have been either already talked about and featured in the iDigBio Education and Outreach monthly meetings or will be. And so if anybody finds any of this exciting or interesting, please join us for our future meetings because we have a lot of fun. We have been lucky enough to have a lot of amazing past presenters, such as the Black and Natural History Museums, Yale Peabody's Evolution Program, and the Bishop's Museum Pillsbury TCN. And we'll be talking about both of those later. And we are also going to feature some new topics coming up we're going to do a SciComm series, as well as feature the company Refugium LLC. So exciting stuff to come. Yes. The first thing I'll be talking about is the Yale Peabody's Evolution Program. And if you guys haven't heard about this is an amazing program. It's an after-school program. It's offered to about 100 very passionate students who are passionate about STEM, education, and natural history. The program consists of weekly classes, monthly outreach events, jobs around the museums, and research internships. And so this program, it creates a safe place for kids to go after school who may not have a safe place to go after school, and have interest in exploring other possible futures and careers. It also addresses barriers to and providing pathways into science. Unfortunately, systematic barriers and other inequities limit access to scientific research, and this really confronts that head on by addressing these barriers and encourages youth to take up space in predominantly white spaces and have their voices heard when they may not have otherwise. So at the end of every year, after the end of the program, it's very exciting. The kind of all comes together in an exhibit that they have at the Yale, a temporary museum exhibit that they have at the Yale Peabody Museum. And all the students research a topic, they design the exhibit, and they all help put it together. This helps showcase their research and the efforts they put into the program for the whole year. My personal favorite is the Evolutions Explorers collections. So all the students got to explore the collections and review the research that everybody was doing. They explored the entomology, botany, vertebrate zoology, invertebrate paleontology, meteoritics, and anthropology, and put together an exhibition featuring specimens, videos, dioramas that showcase the research that was happening at the museum. And so that's probably my favorite one. Okay, and after the program ends, they don't just drop you. They have another program that you can also go into called PsyCore, and it's where students are offered positions in the museum, like apprenticeships. They could be museum interpreters or museum education specialists. This helps the students who've been through the evolution program find internships, jobs, grad schools, and other opportunities that will help them build a career in STEM. So this is a program that will follow you throughout your career. Okay. Next, I'll be talking about the Pillsbury TCN, or the Pacific Island Snail Biodiversity Repository. The goal of this project was to develop a comprehensive data resource to provide information needed to identify and assess the distribution of Pacific Island land snails, which are greatly endangered. However, they also use this program for a lot of other cool things. And they also are very focused on training students from underrepresented STEM groups, such as Pacific Islanders, women in science, and field in science that are needed to address the pending biodiversity crisis that are happening in Hawaii. And now, this was already a cool program to begin with, but one unintended invention to come out of this program was a trading card game called Snail Blazers. And this game was actually invented by a student who was working with Pillsbury, an intern at the Bishop Museum. And it was supposed to be just a one card mock-up that was supposed to be used for outreach events, and it kind of spiraled into this trading card game. And he designed the cards, he helped with the pictures, he wrote the description, made up the game himself. This game not only brings awareness to the plight of the Hawaiian land snail, but also educates the public about endangered snails on the brink of extinction. It's also a really fun game. And all the proceeds go directly towards the Hawaiian land snail conservation. And so if you purchase the game, you're helping a good cause. You can buy it on the Bishop Museum website. And then if you go to the next slide, I wanted to show off some of the cards because they're absolutely gorgeous. Amazing. Another TCN that is doing really great things is Dig In. The co-author of this talk, Libby, that's her in the picture. She's very active in that group. Dig In is focused on digitizing marine invertebrates and improving accessibility to marine invertebrate data. And so for the last few years, they've been hosting a yearly workshop for educators called Scientific Discovery and Natural History Collections. During these workshops, Dig In researchers travel to the Natural Museum in LA County with an educator from their local community, and they learn about collections, collecting, and using that collections data in the classroom, in the classes visiting the museum. And at the end of the week, the educators come away with a lesson they developed that they can use in their classrooms and curriculum. And this outreach tool has seeded collections-based education around the country. So that's a really cool program. Yes, and TCNs like Dig In, like I mentioned before, use social media to tell stories about the collections, the research, and all the stuff that they have going on. They reach thousands of people with their Instagram reels, and hundreds of people like them. So it's important to use social media as a tool to show off your research and bring awareness to your cause, whatever that may be. And so why is social media important in education and outreach and science communication as a whole? Social media is a low effort, high impact way to spread science communication. Just spending a few minutes a day or even an hour a week to post social media can have such a large impact. Social media does have a global outreach. 4.9 billion people, or 60% of the world population, uses some form of social media. And it also helps appeal to your current audiences, but don't be afraid to branch out to new ones. That's kind of the fun of social media. And it helps make science more accessible to new demographics. And you should use multiple platforms to reach a variety of demographics. The most common age group that is using it is 25 to 35, but more and more people are joining every day. And it also helps you curate content. So you should develop a strategy for posting on social media, and you can curate your content like a digital exhibit to make it more appealing. And then how can you implement some of these programs or approaches in your institutions? The biggest thing is don't be afraid to reach out and ask questions. If somebody's doing something interesting to you and you want them to, or you want to know more about it, reach out to them. I'm sure they'll be more than happy to help. And you should use social media as a free tool of engagement that is 100% free, and you can have a lot of fun with it, and you can appeal yourself to a lot of people. And collaborate with institutions implementing these programs. Don't be afraid to team up with people. I'm sure they're more than willing to spread the ideas. And always keep your eye out for new grants or other funding. This is important to fund new outreach programs and initiatives. And just a slight plug, always, if you're interested in any of this, check out our monthly E&O meetings. Follow us on social media. We'll be featuring new presenters every month with innovative approaches to education outreach. If you missed the old ones, Wiki is currently in the process of being built, so you can always go back and watch them as well. So thank you so much for listening. Apologize for the technical difficulties. Any questions?